Good morning. Okay, let's make a start. So this morning we have our reading session and we are looking at the relationship between textual features. So our aims and outcomes. By the end of this session, learners must be able to identify the purpose of a text through its language and format, be able to identify whether a text can be understood through its main points only, and be able to understand when a text needs specific details to be understood. You should at times use the 5 Ws to understand a text, and you could always use the 5 Ws to understand the text. Okay, just some reason my slide isn't moving on. There we go. So the 4 principal purposes of a text are to instruct or inform, to describe, to persuade, and to explain. So can anyone think of an example of a text that might be written to instruct or inform? What type of text that might be? So if you want to give an answer, you can just unmute yourself. So what type of text would instruct or inform?
Could it be a work-related email?
It could, an email could include instructions, but that type of text we would call it an email, but it could include instructions. So basically, instructions is one of them, a set of instructions. So for example, if you had a game, it might have a leaflet inside with instructions of how to play the game. Or if you bought some flat pack furniture, so you go to IKEA or B&Q and buy some furniture, inside will be instructions of how to build it. Or another example is a recipe. So a recipe would be an instruction. Sorry, the purpose of that would be to instruct. So describing, what type of text might describe? So it's not just one answer, there's more than one answer. So it could be a non-fiction text that's describing, I don't know, a disease. So it could be a textbook that's describing an event. It could be in a fiction, in a novel, a description of something happening or of a character. So there are different purposes of text. And persuading, we could have an advert, or it could be, rather than an advert, it could be an article that's persuading, trying to persuade you to think like the writer, for example, about climate change or a local issue, such as wanting the council to put traffic lights on a particular stretch of road. So there are lots of examples of that as well. And to explain could be, excuse me. So explaining about a local issue again, there could be elements of that in the text, or does anyone want to have a go at something that might be an explanation text? Sorry, I'm just going to have a drink. I've still got a bit of a cough.
The news.
Yeah, so a news article explaining about a certain, excuse me, about a certain story that's happening. Good. So lots of different types. So 4 principal purposes of text, but there are lots of different text types that use those. So when we're judging a text purpose, so why has it been written, we need to look at the type of text it is. So is it in a newspaper, on a website, an email, is it a letter, a magazine article? So what is the content? Is it formal or informal? Does it use simple or complex sentences? Is it in paragraphs? Is it using statistics or numbers? So how is it organised? And what is the content? What is its format? So is there a heading, subheadings? Are there visual aids? So pictures and charts. So looking at the content, statistics and numbers, often if they're included, there might be visual aids to help understanding. So charts, for example, graphs. If it's a news story, it will often have a picture related to the content of the story. So who is the audience? So what language does it use? Is it informal language? Is it an email to a friend? Or is it more formal? Is it a letter that's written to an organisation? So you need to be familiar with these questions that you can ask yourself about the text that you need to read when you are doing your reading assessment. So it's just to familiarise yourself with those questions, and asking yourself those questions about the text is going to aid your ability to answer the questions effectively. Okay, so we've got a text here. I will read it out, you can read along, and then we'll discuss the question there. What is its type, purpose, and who is the audience? Oh my, it's Sally and Robin. TV's Sally Turner can't wait to bag her own lordship. Here she is, enjoying a park date with the actor she can't wait to wed. Sally, 31, will be seen locking lips with Eddie Croft on the BBC Sunday night drama Lord Finchley. But she was spotted enjoying a smooch with fellow actor Robin Price, who starred with her in BBC One's Body Double, as they walked their dogs in the sunshine. The pair have kept their relationship low-key, with Sally finally letting slip that they were engaged in an interview last week. Okay, so what type of text is this? So where might you find this text? This short text, where might it be found? So we know what it's not. It's not a non-fiction text. It's not an email or a report, like an academic report. So we wouldn't find it in a textbook. It's not a set of instructions, but what is it? What type of text is it? Does anyone want to have a go? So you could either tell me what the text type is or where might you read it?
Sorry, what was the question again?
So what type of text is this, or where might you find it? Where might you read it?
In a text message or?
So this type of text isn't a text message. It's a report, a short newspaper report. It's a gossipy newspaper report. It's not. It's only very short, and the content is about a TV actress, Sally Turner, and it's telling us about her love life. So where might you find this sort of text? So celebrity gossip, where might you find that?
Like you can find those on social media?
Yeah, so it could be a link on social media, but you're more likely to find this type of text, how it's written, on a news website. So something like the Daily Mail that has lots of gossipy celebrity stories, or it could be in a newspaper or a magazine. Okay, so social media most tend to be very short texts, so the length would be very short. This is short for an article in a newspaper or a magazine, but it isn't as short as a social media post would be. So you could find similar on a social media post, but it would more likely to be just 1 or 2 sentences with a link to a story like this. Okay, so can you understand the difference? So this isn't a short text message or social media post. It's a little bit longer than that, and it's can you recognize it as something you might see in a magazine or on a website? Can you recognize that as something you might have seen?
Not really.
So you've not read like a magazine that's got information about celebrities and so on in?
Oh, I did, but most of them show around like
So I
those
don't
social
mean,
media apps.
yeah, so I don't mean exactly seeing this. I think this is made up. I don't know. I've never heard of someone called Sally Turner, but it's possibly made up anyway. But what's really important, you're doing this writing course and then doing the assessment, is that you are not just coming and turning up to this every Saturday, this lesson, but that you're putting into practice and what we learn, and also so by doing lots of reading. I don't expect you to set aside an hour, 2 hours a day to just sit and read. I know that you're all very busy, but if you're on the bus or the tram or the train, grab one of the Metro newspapers that are free in the station. Have a look at the different text types. So you might, in the Metro, you might find something like this, but you might also find more serious articles. You'll also see adverts trying to persuade you to buy a product or service. And also just any other opportunity, look at different types of website, different newspapers, see how when you read it, look at the different features. So it's really important that you practice and that you read to look for the text types and the devices used in text that we are talking about in this lesson. Okay, that's going to really help you so that you can recognise different text types and you know what the features are. Okay, so here we can see there's a short, there's a fun headline. Oh my, it's Sally and Robin. It's just a short, fun, few words to make the headline. Informal language with contraction and colloquialism. So contraction, we've got can't, so instead of cannot, which would sound more formal here, we've got can't. It's been contracted to can't. She can't wait to bag her own lordship. So she wants to meet, she's going to bag something. She's going to win it. Okay, it's going to be in the bag. It's just a colloquialism. So it's like an everyday language. It's not formal. The sentences are fairly short, simple language. We've got an image there of Sally and her partner, and the paragraphs are very short. So, for example, the second paragraph is literally just one sentence. I think that's the case as well, isn't it, for most of the paragraphs. So it's a newspaper website article. The purpose was to inform and describe. And the audience might be young people interested in celebrity gossip, but could also cover all ages. So what are the main points of the article? So the main point is that an actress is dating another TV celebrity. And other points, she's starring in a TV show. In the TV show, she kisses a different actor, not the person that she's going to marry. The article wants the reader's attention, and the main point is enough to do that. Okay, so that main point is really important. Right, somebody's just... Let's put a message. Right, sorry, I'm just dealing with the chat on there. I'm just going to resend the new link. Apologies for this. Thank you, Maria, for just highlighting that. Okay. Okay. So we've got another article, another text here, and we want to think about what its type is, the purpose, and who is the audience. So there, when you do your assessment, they're the questions you are going to be asking yourself. What is the text type? What is its purpose? and who is the audience. Okay, so number of over 65s still in work doubles in a decade. The number of people aged over 65 who are still working has more than doubled in a decade to nearly 500,000, new research has shown. It is believed to be due to changes in retirement age. The number of those aged over 65 who are in full or part-time employment has been steadily rising year on year for the past decade. According to new StatGov data, reaching a UK peak of 467,946 in the first quarter of this year, an increase of 132% since 2009. Nearly 1 in 12 of those over 65 are still working, a significant increase from the 1 in 22 working 10 years ago. Age-related charities have expressed concern. Mary Clark of Age Britain said, "It's time to look at how much older people are doing." Okay, so I want you to think about that question at the top of the slide. So for this text, what is its type, purpose, and who is the audience? And in the grey boxes, there are some information to help you decide. So just have a look at that for a moment, and then we'll talk about it together. Okay, does anyone want to have a go and say what's the purpose of the text, who the audience might be, and what the text type is, or you can just tell me one of those things. So just remember to unmute yourself to give an answer.
I think they want to make a formal information.
Yeah, so it's formal. Well done. It contains information. Good. Any other comments about that text? Anybody else want to make a comment? Okay, let's have a look.
Okay, bringing to the notice of the, okay.
Oh, go on. No, go on.
Okay, bringing to the notice of people about the increment of the working class, 65 years, maybe because of the age, because they increased the age of retirement, and letting people know that there are many numbers of people, old age people that are productive, like before. Yeah,
good. Okay, so it's about over 65s working, they're still productive, as you say. Yeah, well done. Okay, so it's a business article, and it's, as you've said, it's explaining. The audience might be older people or those nearing retirement age, economists, or people interested in general news. So it's a business article, but that might be found in just a general newspaper in the business section. It wouldn't necessarily be in a specialised journal. So business article, it's explaining that these main points, that more people over 65 are working than previously. It's a steady increasing trend. Age-related charities are concerned. So the article wants to explain a trend. And it uses statistics, charts and quotes to reinforce credibility and understanding, objectivity and the sense that research has been done. So sorry, there we go. So it's using numerical information, data, to explain the point. So there's facts, there's statistics, and we've got a quote from Mary Clark there, who is from a charity, Age Britain, or an organisation. Okay. So the question there, what is it type and purpose? The type is a business article and its purpose is to explain. Who is it for? Who is the audience? Well, once you think about the fact that it's a business article and it's explaining, that's going to help you think about the audience. So who would be interested in this? Older people or those who are nearing the age of retirement, or possibly economists or academics who look at this type of information, or it could just be lots of people are just interested in the news in general, in current affairs. Okay. So a good way to find out the purpose in detailed text is to use the 5 Ws. So this is something for you to learn and remember for when you do your assessment, but also, as I've mentioned, about practicing just reading whenever you can and thinking about the features of texts and identifying purpose and audience. And the text type is just by reading when you can. Pick up the free Metro every day and have a look through it when you have a few minutes. So who, when, where, what and why. Okay, who is it for? When was it written? And so on. So, sorry. So, because I've had to set a new Zoom, there is a chance it might switch off before we finish. If it does, just jump straight back on using the same link, and that's what I will do as well. So, using the 5 Ws to find out more about the text. So here it shows you. Who are we talking about? What are we talking about? Where is it happening? When is it happening? Why has it happened? So if you can use those 5 Ws to analyse the text and decide the answers, then that's going to help you to answer the questions in the assessment. Okay, so you could practice that today just for 5 minutes. Just look on a news website or look at another text type and just use those 5 Ws and try and think of what the answers would be. Okay, so in this article, who are we talking about? Over 65s. What are we talking about? The number of people who are still working over that age. Where is it happening? It's this article is talking about the UK. When? So it tells you the dates, increases since 2009, and it's talking about what's happening now from the last decade, during the last decade, sorry, to now, and why. And we've got information in there to answer that. Okay. So use those 5 Ws, learn them so that you can use them for any text that you are looking at. So specific details and main ideas in a text. So if we have a look at those. So youth unemployment rose by 4% in June is specific. We've got a figure here, percentage. So it's a specific detail rather than a main idea, specific. Global warming is increasing. So that's an idea. It's not given us any facts and figures yet. It's just the idea from the text, the main idea. It turns out coffee is bad for you. So that, again, that's a main idea. We've not got specific information. He has now scored 8 goals in 10 appearances. So again, specific. Particularly if there's numerical information, it's going to be specific. A degree in biology now costs over £10,000. Again,
specific.
Because if you've got that facts and figures, as we say, if you've got numerical information, it's likely to be a specific detail. Okay, so we'll come to the end now for today. So we've looked at the language and format of a text to help us identify the purpose. So using those 5 Ws. So looking at the main points and specific details of a text. And so you should now be able to use the 5 Ws to understand a text. So if I just put the 5 Ws back up, if you want to scribble them down, or if you've got a phone there, you can do a screenshot or take a photo, and have a go at using those today to look at some text. So as I said, I don't think we get the Metro, do we, on a Friday? I don't think it's, sorry, Saturday, it's not produced, but on Monday, just grab one. You can use it over, you don't need to get one every day, just have a look at that, look at the different text types whenever you get a few minutes, or do it on when you're on the bus or the tram. Have a look online. You can find all the different text types online, reports, instructions, persuasive and so on. Have a look at those type as well. The main thing is just practice, read and use what we've learned in our sessions whilst you're reading. Look for the different features and the different text types, different text written for different audiences and so on. So these are the questions. Who are we that match with the 5 Ws? Who is the article talking about? What is it talking about? Where is it happening? When is it happening? And why has it happened? Who, what, where, when, why? Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Yeah. Please, there is something I want to ask. Because they told me that even here that they are recording this lesson.
Yep.
Yeah. But at times when I'm not opportune to be in the lesson and I want to get back what was studied, I cannot access it, because I think the purpose of recording is that we can also go back to to do what you are saying by listening to the lessons again in order to cope up. So
when you registered, you should have been given access to what's called Moodle, and that has the information about the course you're on, and also it has any recordings and extra supporting materials. If you don't have a login for Moodle, then you need to contact the office on Monday. When within a few days of the lesson, they will put the recording on Moodle. So you need to, if you haven't got a login, you'll need to contact the office on Monday and ask them for a login, and then you'll be able to access the lesson recordings, and also any there's also other practice materials and other supporting materials for the courses that you're on. Okay.
Okay, so I need the login materials in order to access them.
If you're still having problems, then you'll need to contact them again, but you should be able to get a login from them, and then you should be able to log in and see that information and see the lesson recordings on there.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's okay. All right then, well, I shall see you tomorrow then, for those of you that can join us. If I can just ask, I did because I'd sent a new link, I did start at 5 past today because I waited for people to log in, but still some people have not been able to get in. It's very tricky for me to look at the WhatsApp whilst I'm teaching you, so that's why I don't always see the messages, because it's distracting for me to be looking at both, and I want to focus on the lesson for you. So make sure you're there at 9 o'clock, and then if there's any issues, we can get them sorted before we start, and you don't miss part of the lesson. But it's just quite tricky, as I say, to keep I don't want to keep checking my phone when I'm teaching you. I want to focus on that. So that's all it is. And thank you. If there is a message, I'm happy to deal with it if someone brings it to my attention, but obviously that means that the lesson's interrupted then. So okay, then, but thank you very much and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye, Catherine.